And now we are set to go. A huge crowd and a huge roar in Newcastle greets the opening whistle. The Matildas defending a proud record against Korea Republic, and Amy Chapman, just a year out from the Asian Cup, hopefully going to defend a proud record in that competition as well. This is the road to winning that championship on home soil.
It is indeed, Robbie. An evening to you and to all of Newcastle. Monday night, Matildas, what more can you ask for? Obviously trying to build on a decent performance on Friday. First clean sheet and first win for the year.
M&M, Monday night Matildas, got a nice ring to it. Here is Alana Kennedy with Steph Catley, so those two emerging in this window as quite possibly the first choice central defensive pairing. That could all change, of course, when Tommy Simani's replacement finally arrives, the timing of which seems to be suggesting that Tommy Simani could be in for that Argentina window at the end of May in Melbourne at Marvel Stadium, and then the 2nd of June in Canberra against Argentina. It might just come a little too soon for the man expected to take the hot seat, Joe Montemuro. If Olympique Lyonnais are in the Champions League final, which they're currently in the semis, that would be the 24th of May, and not enough time to come in and take charge of the Matildas in that window. Starting to cut it a little fine, Amy.
Yes, indeed. I mean, there's 8 months out now. It'll be 6 months post the time we may see.
Is that a little foul as Emily Van Egmond steers the ball into the back of the net? A foul by Holly McNamara, who's pleading her innocence there after that challenge on Lim Sonju.
Of course, that goal won't count there, but it does get the crowd excited. Newcastle, you alluded, they've won 6 of their 8 games here, the Matildas, with an average of 3.4 goals. So hopefully we can expect the same this evening. But there is Tom Simani, the man of the moment. He's done a great job steering the ship, a difficult job given that we are only 8 months out from the Asian Cup, but I think this is a perfect snapshot. You want to be playing against competitive Asian teams. As we mentioned, they are the gateway to the major tournaments for the Matildas.
And they are a competitive side as well, as they're onto the front foot here with the number 23. Kang Che-rim gets it back, and the flag is up for offside. Flag going up against the number 9, Choi Yu-jung. Those two who play their football together with Hwai Chon. They finished premiers in the K-League last season, lost the grand final, which is played in a similar format to the A-League women. Those two immediately showing their understanding. Kong Che-rim, we saw her come off the bench in Sydney, number 23, as it's a long ball for Tamika Yallop, the Brisbane Roar player, dispossessed only just by Chu. A little touch, clever touch, and Mern is running away here. It's a 3-on-2 for Korea Republic if they play their cards right. There's the ball in behind, but it's too close to Tegan Micah, and she's able even to just shepherd it out of play, but a warning sign early for the Matildas.
Yes, indeed. 3v2 there. Lucky that the Korea Republic were a little indecisive. A little missed pass there, but certainly a little early scare there. Steph Catley tracking back nicely, delaying play as much as possible.
Tegan Micah happy to walk the ball well outside her box as well. That is the role these days of a modern goalkeeper. Here's Alana Kennedy. All players have to be able to multitask. Cooney Cross coming deep looking for the ball. She was outstanding, playing a slightly more advanced role with Winnie Heatley in behind, and that ball looking to play in Tamika Yallop. It's Chu Hyo-ju who does well on that occasion. And now a little ball over the top from Ji So-yun for Mern. Rides the challenge of Grant. Still going Mern. The back heel intercepted by Claire Wheeler. And a big cheer for her. Touch, she gets it back and goes again. Good ball forward for McNamara. And now Yallop, nice football from the Matildas. Looking for the option, she'll get another chance. Tamika Yallop. Grant settles things with Alana Kennedy. Well, they were able to play their way out under pressure there with Wheeler. Coming deep, looking for the ball. And now the cross from the left, again towards McNamara. A little too casual from the Korean central defence there. And McNamara snuck in, couldn't take full advantage.
It's great hustle here from McNamara as we see Nevin, her first opportunity to get forward. Didn't really connect with the cross, but as a true striker, sneaking in near post, that's what you want to see from Holly. She was lively last game. She showed great strength, great speed. Love to see her combining more.
As now she looks to lead the press as well. All the way across, looking to get the pressure on Shin Nyan Yong, the number 7, who's quite new to the Korean national team, but played like a seasoned veteran on Saturday. It was Lim Son-ju, the number 6, who put the ball into the back of her own net. As here come Korea again, ball to the back post. Well defended, Charlie Grant. Choi was lurking at the back post.
Some great combination play here from Korea. They looked lively early in this half, and a very important touch from Charlie Grant. She had players either side, a very dangerous ball across the box.
It's been a bright start from Korea Republic. It will be their captain and most influential player now, Choi Si-yoon. Ji So-yoon rather. In it comes. Towards the back post and the header. It was a good ball to the back post. Let's head down to the sidelines where Niamh Owens is with us this evening. Niamh, great to see a full house in your hometown.
It's pretty special, isn't it? I know that we say often that Newcastle is a rugby league town, Robbie, and it certainly is. But gee whiz, Northern New South Wales football is an incredible nursery for footballing talent as well. And we've seen so many of those products come through and play for the Matildas over the years, including a couple who are out there in the middle tonight. The pitch looking really good. The Jets played here yesterday. It's still in top nick. It's 22 degrees, Robbie, and there's a little southeasterly making it feel a few degrees cooler than that, but perfect footballing conditions.
It is, no excuses in terms of the playing surface and the conditions. And the intensity is there as well from both sides, but certainly Korea Republic looking to take the game to the Matildas in these early stages. The touch from Van Egmond for Wheeler. She's turned into trouble, she's turned it over. The opportunity, it comes back to Choi. And now Ji shoots just wide of the post. Wheeler caught in possession, dangerous moments.
Yeah, it all came from an excellent Korea high press, actually. They caught Steph Catley early on her heels, made her turn back out, which put a bit of pressure on the defence for the Matildas, and then caught on the ball centrally. A great opportunity for Korea.
Here is Cooney Cross. Kyra Cooney Cross, who led the game for dribbles in Sydney with 5 successful dribbles. Led Australia for recoveries of the ball with 9 as well. As I said, that Ji So-yoon was the Korea captain. It is, of course, the number 17, Lee Yong-ju. Ji So-yoon, their most experienced player, but their captain was also outstanding, the number 17 in the middle of the park on Friday night in Sydney. Lee. Korea actually shaded possession in that first game. There's Courtney Nevin back in the starting lineup. It's been a while. Not called up for the She Believes Cup. Hasn't played a whole lot of football recently with Leicester either. But she's becoming an experienced left back. Cap number 30 for her. Most of them off the bench, but that's an excellent number. Korea come again. Cross makes it past Catley, headed away by Kennedy. And Kennedy again. The Angel City player who's played every single minute of the new NWSL season. 3 games in. Throw from Kim Hye-ri. Nevin. And it's picked off by Lee, but her pass can't find Kim Hye-ri. But Australia just struggling to control the ball as they play out from that press.
Yeah, certainly Korea are setting the tempo at the moment. They're setting the press. They're trapping Matildas in. Just lucky in that little bit of experience just to get the composure, get the foot on the ball here. You're missing some really big names out of this Matildas starting 11, so you look to the likes of Kennedy to take control.
That was not that. That ball all the way through to Kim Min-jong. Lana Kennedy, yeah, the likes of those missing. Well, Sam Kerr is sitting on the sidelines in the stands this evening. There was a great roar every time she appeared on the big screen in Sydney, but Ellie Carpenter and Hayley Rasso both left. So is Mackenzie Arnold. Katrina Gorry didn't make the trip. Amy Sayer, another one who's still missing with a long-term knee injury. Charlie Grant's done well. Yallop with Van Egmond. Yallop gets it back. Goes again with Mary Fowler. Nice first touch. Now Nevin looking for the return ball, but it's overhit. Kim is there. Fowler looking to put her under pressure. It's just shepherded back to a goalkeeper by Kim Hye-ri. Those injured players did see a trio of youngsters called up to this Matildas squad as well. Sally James from Canberra United, back at Canberra United. Tegan Bertolicio, her clubmate there, and Alexia Apostolakis from the all-conquering, so far anyway, Melbourne City in the A-League women's competition. All 3 uncapped at senior level. Called up from the young Matildas. Cooney Cross, dispossessed. The red shirts doing well, but that one's overhit. Fowler with McNamara, gets it back. Mary Fowler, danger here for Korea. Fowler shoots. Kim Min-jung saw the ball pop back out. Holly McNamara was looking to pounce.
Good opportunity for the Matildas. First one of the game, really. Just slightly lost her footing, Mary Fowler. We know how brilliant that left foot is. She didn't quite get the connection, but that's exactly the positions you want Mary Fowler in. Facing forward, top of the 18-yard box. This might spark a bit of life into the Matildas.
Well, Fowler intercepts again. The Manchester City player just spirited away by Lee Yong-ju, the Korea captain, but ball immediately retrieved by Steph Catley to her Arsenal teammate, Kyra Cooney-Cross. Kennedy now. Looks long for Yallop. Just named A-League Women's Player of the Month. The Brisbane Roar veteran who's been in outstanding form this season. Tegan Micah. Big opportunity between the posts. Of course, she played at the Tokyo Olympics. Tegan Micah as first choice, but a serious injury, a serious concussion saw her lose her spot to Mackenzie Arnold. A spot that she made her own, but now perhaps the tables have turned. Tegan Micah starting for the 4th game in a row between the posts for the Matildas.
Some better combination play for the Matildas going forward. We saw the speed and pace of Holly McNamara running in behind there. A little bit better link-up play already between herself and Nevin. You can see Kyra Cooney-Cross dropping in between those central defenders to get on the ball, start looping in those midfielders, which we didn't see a lot of in game 1.
A little too eager from Holly McNamara, the A-League Women's top scorer. 12 goals in 15, but 11 in her last 9, including 2 hat-tricks for the Matildas, number 17. 8 wins over Western United and Adelaide. Return from a 3rd knee reconstruction. Testament to her determination. Wheeler turns and does well. Ball over the top now for Charlie Grant. Control is good against Chu. Cooney cross arriving. Good feet, but it's very congested in the midfield. Korea with extra numbers in there, with Mern and Kang, those wide rolls, but happy to step inside. That's a great ball for Yallop. Van Egmond short, able to turn. Return ball, Yallop, the cross in was good. McNamara couldn't get the telling touch. Here's Nevin. She couldn't pick out Mary Fowler, but the Matildas still have it.
Well, it deserves something, didn't it? A great distribution early from Alana Kennedy. Combination play experience between Yallop and M. Van Egmond, and the delivery was excellent. Just didn't have the numbers, didn't have the runners.
There we saw the damage that the Matildas can do as well when they get the ball into those wide positions, when they can explode into action. Well, it may just be a friendly match, but we don't need to stand around all night there. The Korea goalkeeper, Kim Min-jong, happy to wind down the clock. Put the ball in play. Chu goes long towards Kim Shin-ji, the AS Roma midfielder, wearing the number 8 for the Taeguk ladies. That's well played. Mary Fowler again. Yallop giving a lot of options down this right-hand side. Here's Wheeler. Her cross in. Headed away by Shin Na-yong. Grant is being held. Free kick for the Matildas, and a good period this.
Tilly's getting some joy on this right-hand side, led by Tamika Yallop, getting a lot of width, great control, and linking in other players. You need those runs in behind from your number 10, from the Claire Wheelers. It just opens up that space. Well defended in the end from Korea Republic, but a great first opportunity for the Matildas.
Tamika Yallop being involved in everything in this opening quarter of an hour. Down this right-hand side. Kyra Cooney cross and Steph Catley standing over the free kick. It is Catley to deliver. Good ball as well. Back out Emily Van Egmond, just snatching at it a little too high. Unable to keep it down.
You could see Van Egmond lining that up. Hometown Newcastle girl. Can hit a volley, but it's a busy 18-yard box. Didn't quite have the time.
Korea able to play out for the press, but not for long. Wheeler wins it back off G. Korea number 10 has it back quickly, and it'll be Chu to get us back underway. Left back plays in the Canadian First Division. Oh, was that ball allowed to bounce? Mary Fowler was lurking. McNamara is there as well, and the Matildas have it back. Fowler still in there, scrapping for everything. In the end, Kim looks long. Lovely touch from Choi. Danger now. G driving that ball forward. And it's nearly perfect again from the number 10, just too far for Mun Eun-ju.
It was almost a gift for the Aussies there, but they played their way out of that beautifully. The Koreans, they're confident on the ball. They're confident running in behind today, and they are stretching the Matildas' defence.
There is their coach. Little ball over the top. Catley with Wheeler. She hooks it towards Van Egmond. Ball still there. now, the Korea captain Lee. Chu can't keep it in. And Egmont asking if there wasn't a little free kick there just before then. Korea Republic are investing heavily in their football program for the men and the women. We see more and more Korean players all over the world in this current women's squad. There's one in Spain, one in Canada, as I mentioned, one in China, one in Italy, 3 in England. Emily Van Egmont's teammates at Birmingham City, and 3 in the USA as well. One in the UWSL, the second tier or concurrent national first division.
They've got incredible potential as a national footballing team, likened to baseball as the #1 sport in Korea Republic, but they've had a big push and a big focus on the intensity of play. They've always been very technical, very strong in possession, but that's where they felt they've really lacked and been able to compete against European teams. It's just that physicality and the speed, but you're seeing their interplay today has already improved.
Cooney Cross does brilliantly, lovely touch as well. And it's Ji So-yoon who wins the ball back for Korea Republic. She is one accustomed to the game at the very highest level, now plays for Seattle Reign in the NWSL. Here she is again. Looks up and looks long for Mern. And this one she will keep in play. Charlie Grant comes charging back. Mern looking to get the cross in on the left. That's gone straight behind the goal. You can just hear there in the effect was that Charlie, don't gamble. I think make sure you're covering. She does have the pace to get back and doesn't mind chewing up the kilometres in a game, Charlie Grant.
And I think that's one of the challenges for these new young fullbacks trying to make their way into this international stage is you've got to get that pairing right, you've got to get your positioning right, usually set by the centre, 2 central defenders who are both experienced here, but if you try and edge a little bit, if you try and gain a few yards, sometimes you can get caught out. We know Charlie Grant loves to attack, she loves to get forward, she's got great pace, but sometimes it can come at a cost.
All the way back to Kim Min-jong, who again is happy to take her time. It's been Holly McNamara who's led the press when the Matildas have pressed. Lee back again to the goalkeeper, and then now with Shin Na-yong. Chu helps it up the line towards Mern, under pressure from Grant. Again, that technique you were talking about, able to twist and turn and hold on to the ball.
We're seeing some glimpses of that midfield rotation as well. Kyra clearly being the anchor there, but a lot of interchange between Em Van Egmont and Claire Wheeler, both with freedom to run forward, getting behind. And that's just giving them a little more dynamic movement inside the midfield, which was lacking a little bit in game 1.
Chu with the long throw towards G. Wheeler. All the way back to Steph Catley. 24 minutes gone. Australia 0. Korea Republic 0. The Matildas with 2 shots. 1 on target from Mary Fowler against 3 shots from Australia's guests, Korea Republic, in this 2-game series. They didn't manage to get out of the group stage at the World Cup. Korea Republic, is there. Cooney Cross has been caught in possession now. G waiting for the overlapping run. It comes from Chu. Again, Grant comes herring back. It's going to be a corner for Korea Republic. Their second of the evening, and again, it's Ji So-yun to take. Tegan Micah laying down the law to her defenders. Again, looking to keep that zone on the edge of the 6-yard box. Grant at the near post, only one player on the post. G's ball. Again, deep towards the back post, won by Van Egmond in the air. Lee. He got through a mountain of running as well in that first game. Again, Cooney Cross, again charging forward, foul this time, and it's going to be a booking. Cooney Cross starting to run the ball out. Let's head back down to Neve Owens, who's been keeping a close eye on Kyra.
It's one of the things I love about the way she plays her football, Robbie. She's such a positive footballer. She's not always looking for that pass. She is head up and oh so happy to drive into space. And as Tommy and the team try out different combinations around her, from Winnie Heatley to Claire Wheeler today, it's really trying to bring out the best in Kyra Cooney Cross, because she is such an incredible player when she makes those driving runs forward. Really interesting to see Mary Fowler in that different role as well today. The team had a chat with her during the week about where she thinks she plays her best football, and she wants to be there on the edge as she is in clubland.
And there it was, Wheeler again making that run. Mary Fowler, he loves to play just in between the lines in those attacking roles. Playing wide on the left, that's where she is playing at the moment with Manchester City. Top assist provider in the English First Division, the WSL. And this evening, quite right, it's Cooney Cross who's playing a little bit deeper than she did on Saturday when she had Winnie Heatley looking after the defensive duties alongside her. Chu. Back with G again. Shin with Lim. Van Egmond's cross that Lim was just stretching for and could only turn towards her own goal. In the end, it was Kim Min-jong, the goalkeeper, who couldn't keep it out. The only goal of the game in Sydney. Shin, long for Mun again. She's looked lively down this left-hand side. G with Lee. Looks up, crosses, the nod down from the number 9, Choi. And seen out of play by Alana Kennedy.
It's been quite a similar opening stanza in this game as it was to game one. Neither team really able to create clear-cut chances at either end. I think Korea Republic have come out strong. They've had some, perhaps the better of the two chances from the teams, but really neither able to penetrate with great intent.
On the same wavelength that time. Charlie Grant and Tamiki Yalab. Tommy Samani coming to have a word out on the edge of his technical area to Charlie Grant. Tommy Samani, 70 years of age.
He's been an incredible ally of women's football in this country. Obviously a big part of the Matildas' history, has coached and developed a number of these players, and it's been fantastic what he has done for the game, not just here in Australia but globally as well. He's been the perfect man for the job in this interim role, perhaps a longer stint than anticipated, but he knows the players, he knows the games, and he's done a fantastic job. So watch this space.
That's true. He may have cut his teeth in women's coaching in Australia, but spent a lot of time in the US as well with San Jose, New York Power, Orlando Pride, and in between all that, a year with the US women's national team as well.
He's certainly dedicated his entire career to women's football and is a big part of why the Matildas have been so successful.
Kennedy sliding in. Ball popped back out momentarily. G, great awareness for Chu. Now Lee, G, They give it a little bit of air. Bring it out as we approach the half hour here in Newcastle. The crowd who have filled both hills behind each goal, as well as the stadium opposite. You can see there a sea of green and gold, and the odd Taeguk pink as well. That Korea Republic jersey is a prized possession for kit nerds, as they're known around the world, those that take a joy in collecting football jerseys and spending far too much of their hard-earned on it. You will always find a Korean football shirt in there. They have a great tradition of great jerseys. The Matildas not looking too shabby in their Rico Rennie change kit this evening as well. Don't forget, if you are in Melbourne or Canberra, you can secure your tickets already for the next international window of the Matildas. 30th of May at Marvel Stadium in Melbourne, 2nd of June at GIO Stadium in Canberra. Be sure not to miss out as they take on the might of Argentina. Here's Catley. See there, you can read that two ways, I guess. Australia on the back foot. Korea looking for balls in behind, looking for ambitious passes. For the moment, the Australian defence is holding firm. Those 6 interceptions to just 1 from Korea so far.
Their press has been excellent so far in this half, and I think Australia haven't dealt with it brilliantly. They're struggling to play out, having to go direct a few times. We've seen better combination play, and we've seen Kyra Cooney-Cross drop in between those two central defenders to try and help with playing out.
Now, Choi running the ball forward again. Kennedy has stayed down, a couple of Matildas down. Myrn shoots, claimed by Tegan Micah. Now we have Alana Kennedy, who's stayed down. Is it? She's holding her left shoulder, is she? Let's have a look here. Ooh, big collision. And that's Tamiki Yallop holding her knee, I think.
Well, it does look like a strong, heavy, friendly fire between Kennedy and Yallop there. Both staying down, both very strong players, but it looked almost like a cheek-to-cheek.
Well, they've been in the wars, the Matildas, of late. That looks like it was a knee. Is there a head clash as well?
Did look like there was a little bit of a split above the eye for Alana Kennedy there. Time will tell with Tamiki Yallop. We've seen Kennedy have some big collisions before, if you recall, breaking her nose in one game. They certainly put their bodies on the line, but a well-earned break for the Matildas. Time for them to regroup as both these players get looked at.
Well, it's Tommy Samani laying down the law there. Let's go down to Neve Owens, who's not far away from that huddle. Nevo.
Yeah, Steph Catley's just been having a word with the players as well, and with Tommy Samani as the players here, the Matildas side on the sideline, look to regroup. Alana Kennedy and Meeks still down, and Meeks holding onto her left knee as well, Robbie, which was a worrying sign after the collision, because you saw the head collect the shoulder, but if that knee is playing up as well, that'll be a real worrying sign for Meeks, who's been in incredible form in the A-League Women's of late. She was Player of the Month last month for Brisbane Roar, really helping Brisbane Roar have the kind of season that they have been having in the Ninja A-Leagues, and there'll be plenty of people holding their breath as they watch these scenes play out in the middle of the moment.
We just saw there is a big egg on that right cheekbone of Alana Kennedy. You can't see it from that angle, it's on the other side. Look at that. That's a big knock.
Her highlights reel of facial injuries that she's received representing her country is getting bigger, unfortunately, for Alana Kennedy. She is a brave cookie, but that one certainly looks like it stings.
Here was this best opportunity of the match so far for the Matildas. Mary Fowler, you mentioned it. She's got a great left foot. In the end, straight down the middle. Just snatched that a little bit, but this is the best it's been for the Matildas so far. Holly McNamara there lurking. That's what Fowler is in this side for as well. She has that quality. She has scored some great goals. Hasn't scored in her last 13 for the Matildas, mind you, so it's starting to be a while. Now, there you can see that right. Look at that, the bruise on the cheek. Oh, the crowd have just seen it on the big screen. That looks very, very painful. She's going to be sporting a black eye as she heads back to the US after this, and Tamika Yallop is possibly a little bit more concerning. She's walking gingerly on that left leg. Looked like a little bit of a hyperextension. Well, the two can share a joke on their way off at least.
They can. Some strong friendly fire there. Hopefully nothing fractured in the cheekbone there for Alana Kennedy. She's taking it well. And of course Meeks looking a little sore. She's checking it out on the big screen again in classic Alana Kennedy form. As brave as anything. You might want to hesitate going into a few headers after that, but she's ready to continue.
It'll take more than that to keep Alana Kennedy off the football pitch. She is an absolute warrior. So is Tamika Yallop. You can see even the medical staff smiling. Caitlin Ford, who had her own little moment when she saw the stuffing up the nose to stop the bleeding on Saturday. They're a tough bunch. It's a tough breed to be a Matilda. Especially this generation that have brought the Matildas through so far. When the game and its professionalism, its globalization has accelerated so much over the last 10 or 15 years. Here's McNamara. Pass under hit. They've just been giving the ball away in these last final third when you really need those passes to stick to carve out an opportunity.
Yeah, certainly haven't been convincing in the final third yet. We saw the highlight of their best opportunity. It's Mary Fowler getting caught in an offside position there, but you've got to think these combinations are new. Obviously the absence of Rasso, who's been so key in providing a number of assists. Carpenter, who we're used to seeing bomb down that right-hand side as well. Not to mention Kerr and Vine. These are all new combinations. They're still trying to figure that out as we look at a pretty star-studded bench there. We may see Michelle Heyman hasn't got a ton of minutes recently. Big opportunities for all these players to step up with the absence of such big names.
It's the biggest name of all. Sam Kerr. Myrn looking to find a shooting opportunity. G back outside with Chu, blocked by Yallop. It's good to see she's not showing any signs of that knock to the knee. Kim Hyeri up the line with Kang. Looking to touch it back, intercepted. Cleared up the line. Van Egmond gets there first. That will be Tilly's ball on that far side of the field. 6 minutes to go in the first half. Scoreless between the Matildas and Korea. The Matildas haven't scored in the first half of their last 4 internationals. Last time they went 5 first halves without scoring in a row was back in 2021. During the very first weeks of the Tony Gustafsson era. Here's Kennedy. Just punching that ball out towards Charlie Grant. now Wheeler with Van Egmond. Kennedy again. Cooney Cross coming deep, looking for the ball. Grants just attacked that one from an offside position. Matildas just need to find that little something extra to bring the crowd into the game as well. They're just waiting for a good opportunity to get behind their team.
Yeah, they are just missing that little bit of spark. The game's slowed down a little bit. They're looking for those moments that perhaps the likes of Kyra Cooney-Cross and Claire Wheeler brought in that second half of that opening game, where they're getting on the ball, they're running at players, they're drawing in the Korea Republic defence, and that's when they start doing their best combinations.
The active support behind the goal are certainly enjoying themselves. Yallop, one for McNamara to chase. And again, it was more a hopeful ball than anything for Holly McNamara.
So interesting to hear that some of these younger players like Caitlin Torpy, like Leah Davidson, even potentially Holly McNamara, haven't actually really had a chance to train with the likes of Sam Kerr. So her presence inside this camp has been so influential for them as young players coming through. To train alongside the likes of a Ballon d'Or nominee and all she's achieved on the global stage, her wisdom that she can park on these players is so important. So I think it's been fantastic that we've had Sam back here and able to give back to these young group who are really trying to vie and compete with her in the future.
Well, we heard it on the broadcast in Sydney on Friday night. The calf gate, Sam Kerr's calf injury, which was the talk of the entire nation during the Women's World Cup. She was back in Australia for those Olympic qualifiers that week in Perth towards the end of 2023. Was on the score sheet in that series before doing her knee when she went back with Chelsea at the end of the year. It was a pretty awful year in terms of injuries, and she's still just waiting after missing out completely on 2024. Still waiting to make her way back to full fitness. Fowler's pass, just not finding Holly McNamara, who again is, you mentioned the new combinations, they're just not quite clicking at the moment this evening. Little ball in behind. Oh, Fowler's done brilliantly, and she drills the ball home. Well, it was a crowded penalty area, but Mary Fowler looked like she had all the time and space in the world. Control and shoot. She's back amongst the goals, and the Matildas are in front in Newcastle.
Very tidy finish here from Mary Fowler. It started from a great firm, crisp passing from Nevin into Emily Van Egmond, held it up beautifully, and a beautifully timed run from Mary Fowler, who does not miss from there. The hard work was in that first touch from keeping those defenders off her, but it's a great finish.
Outstanding first touch, and a 16th goal in green and gold for the Matildas, for Mary Fowler. She was so close to scoring in Sydney. Emily Van Egmond with the assist. So it's been a good international window for her. And here, of course, playing in front of her family and friends, the Novocastrian. And timing could hardly have been better. 30 seconds before half-time. Looking to make it 8 wins out of 8 on home soil against Korea Republic. Their first meeting, Australia won that, it was in Japan back in 1996. This the 22nd meeting as Chu runs away. 4 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this first half, because we did have that long stoppage for Kennedy and Yallop's injury. Kim back out with Lee. Choi. That's a great turn from Steph Catley. She's been quickly closed down, but she holds onto the ball. Wheeler with the goal scorer, Fowler. Here's Cooney Cross. Grant with Kennedy. Really looks like she's been in a boxing match, Alana Kennedy. I'm sure they'll get some ice on that and have a look at what they can do to keep the swelling down. Charlie Grant, space down that right-hand side. Going for the little double contact to take it around Chu. Van Egmond lets it run out of play.
Van Egmond hasn't had a huge amount of ball in this opening half, but that one moment of brilliance, she's so clever when she's facing forward, just to thread that needle into Mary Fowler. Her experience, her execution and technique on the ball, that's the X factor, that's the type of quality you need in the final third.
Grant with Yallop, ball into the box. McNamara again giving chase, and it's headed straight out by Chu. Korea Republic just a little bit under pressure now, starting to see a couple of unforced errors. McNamara helped over the end line, not before she could get a touch back into play. The glancing header. Wheeler gets it back from Kennedy. Nevin with Fowler. Back for Courtney Nevin. She looks long. One for Steph Catley to chase. The central defenders stayed forward. Has got it back. Here's Fowler. Is there time for the Matildas to try and launch one more telling attack in this first half? Just over a minute left. Nevin. Another one for Fowler to chase again. Steph Catley staying forward there, just for a moment, forgetting that she's playing centre back. Staying high up on the left wing, looking to take the throw. Claire Wheeler just saying, time to come back, Steph. Now they're in again. No. Intercepted just. Kennedy with Catley up the line for Fowler, trying to slice between two. In the end, out for a goal kick. That will be just about the end of the action in the first half. The veteran Kim Hye-ri, the right back for Korea Republic, match number 132 for her, for the Taeguk ladies. As the fans in McDonald Jones Stadium go through the clapping to take us to the break. There goes the half-time whistle. Well, it took patience against a Korea side that made life difficult for the Matildas in the opening minutes, before Mary Fowler showed all her class just before half-time to latch on to a well-weighted ball into the box from Emily Van Egmond and knock home her 16th goal for the Matildas. They're in the box seat looking for back-to-back wins over Korea Republic in this series. They lead after A pretty good first half of football in here in Newcastle. At the break, it's Australia 1, Korea Republic 0. We're going to head off to a very quick break now, but don't go away. The halftime show is coming right up.
It is a place to find out, learn new skills, and make new friends. A place to start small and attend big too. To have fun and love, to build confidence from the ground up. A place to belong. Football starts here. Find your place. Join our team.
Where I come from, a lot of the line was used in carbon and unintended investment stocks. They would always be like those stocks in our area, and we have cultural pieces and things like that in relation to it. A lot of it was about cultural development and intelligence. This year, we really have to struggle together to really be proud to where I feel, but also simply stadium.
Give a big cheer for our calls at the Heroes, halftime heroes from all the four Heroes clubs right here in Newcastle. It's time for the Cadbury Cheer Camp. We're at the final. We'll be cheering for today in Newcastle. And it's the Coaches. None of the Matildas will be playing today. Not for the Coaches. The Coaches all the way from being heroes for the big time. Okay, Newcastle, are you ready to make some noise for all the Coaches out there? That's a fantastic start, and we see so many clubs being benefited from the growing football club. It's great to see young women playing football, and how good is it to see crowds like this coming up to us Matildas as well?
It's absolutely fantastic. And honestly, we can't thank CommBank, Football Australia, any more than what they've done for us to enable so many more young girls into the game. From last year, those girls have had more than 90% of them returning in this season. So that has given us some money that really starts something special.
Isn't that fantastic to hear? More girls playing football is exactly what we want. Congratulations, guys. Keep growing the game of women's football out there at your local clubs. And a huge thanks to CommBank for all they're doing in the growing football club. Tonight we're privileged to honour two players who have represented Australia at the highest level of international football. Football Australia presents caps to national team players who start or take part as a substitute in a match between two senior national teams. To present the cap this evening, we welcome Football Australia's CEO, Mr. James Johnson. The first player we'd like to honour here this evening is Tony Bashford. He made her number 8 international debut for Australia on the 26th of March 1989 against Papua New Guinea in Brisbane in the Oceania Cup. Tony went on to make 3 non-8 international appearances for Australia at the Oceania Cup against Papua New Guinea, Chinese Taipei and New Zealand. Would you please put your hands together for Tony Bashford? Now the second player being honoured here this evening is Socceroo Joel Griffiths, being presented with cap number 486. Joel Griffiths made his international debut for Australia on the 9th of October 2005 against Jamaica in London, scoring his first international goal on a debut. Joel went on to earn 3 caps for Australia and enjoyed a decorated career in Australian domestic leagues, including 128 appearances for the Newcastle Jets, as well as an overseas stint in Switzerland and China. After retirement, Joel continued to contribute to football as the operations manager for the Newcastle Jets and in various coaching roles. Would you please put your hands together for Joel Griffiths? A huge congratulations to both of these players. Would you please put your hands together one last time for Joel Griffiths and Tony Bashford?
Welcome back to McDonald Jones Stadium. The fans have been enjoying the music. There's a real disco vibe around Newcastle this evening. Cyndi Lauper's playing just across the road, but it's here where the girls want to have fun this evening. Caitlin Ford joins the fray. A couple of interested onlookers. Nathan Cleary will be very pleased to have seen Mary Fowler on the score sheet in that first half. Caitlin Ford replaces Polly McNamara at half-time, and there's a change for Korea Republic as well, where Choi Ge-min, the number 19, who was excellent on the left side of midfield in Sydney, has also entered the fray. It's the Matildas that get the second half underway in Sydney. Kyra Cooney-Cross went on a run of about 30 metres from kick-off in the second half. It looked as though they were shaping for that again. But Amy Chapman, the Matildas have their noses in front at half-time. The key now, with that confidence, is to go on with it.
Exactly, and potentially a cheekbone in front. Very surprised to see Alana Kennedy back out there. A big blow to the face, as we saw. But she is very tough. She'll be wanting to get some consistent minutes alongside Catley, which could be a new pairing for the Matildas. I'm sure the new coach is looking on, having a lot of thoughts. I'd love to see the Matildas really push for this. These are what friendlies are for. Let's try some things.
Claire Wheeler back with Kennedy. Confirmation of the substitution there. It was Choi Yu-jong, the number 9, who made way. Oh, it was Fowler! Ford, rather. Caitlin Ford, the substitute, getting in behind. She attacked that ball and very nearly made it count.
It's a great early opening touch for Caitlin Ford. We know how lively she is. She'll be disappointed not to connect with that one. Off balance slightly, but I've been impressed with Courtney Nevin's intent to just look early, look for that number 9 run.
Lee. Here is Lee Ge-min. Kim Shin-ji can't get there before Tamiki Yallop. Korea Republic player has stayed down after that challenge. It's Lim, slowly back to her feet. Now Kang crosses near post and behind. Looks as though Lim Sonju is going to be okay. Number 6, she's back on her feet. So there were 2 changes at half-time for Korea Republic. Lee Ge-min came on for Choi Yu-jung, and also Choi Da-chong replaced the number 10 and star of this Korea Republic side, Ji So-yun. Here is Kang. Was lively in the opening minutes of the first half and the second again. She shoots. Blocked by Catley, who's done that very well, but it was a difficult pass towards Caitlin Ford. A little too over-exuberant in the challenge.
You can see Caitlin Ford's eager to be out there. She's excited to combine with some of these young players. We'd love to see the Matildas just get their foot on the ball a bit more. Need some more sustained possession in this second half. I thought Korea held possession well.
Free kick for Korea. Moon steps over, it's in from Kim Shin-ji to the back post. Helped back across the face of goal. Tegan Micah with the punch, is still alive, and in the end headed wide by the number 23, Kang Chae-rim.
Well, it was a dangerous floating ball to the back post. Not dealt particularly well by the Matildas. It was bouncing, it was messy, but some early danger signs there for the Matildas.
It was a really crowded 6-yard box. The pressure on Tegan Micah. In the end, there were just so many bodies back that managed to scramble for it. She kept that clean sheet in Sydney, looking for another here after conceding a few goals in the She Believes Cup in the US. Kennedy ran into trouble. Here's Kim, all the way back to her goalkeeper, Kim Min-jong. Shin Na-yong, forward for Mern. Up against Charlie Grant. It's been a battle all evening. Yallop, closed down by Mern. Korea have it back again. Through the captain, Lee Yong-ju. Playing for Levante in Spain. She used to play for CFF Madrid. They are first and traditionally more well-known women's team in Madrid. Of course, Real Madrid now have a very good women's team. Who generally play second fiddle in Spain to FC Barcelona. Barcelona, who are in the Champions League finals once again in the women's competition. As our Arsenal of Catley, Cooney Cross and Ford. The Gunners trio on the field for the Matildas against Ellie Carpenter's Leon. Yallop's ball in towards Caitlin Ford. She might get another chance. Ford. It's with Fowler now, looking for an option or the space to shoot. It's cleared in the end. Chelsea will take on Barcelona in that second semi-final. Very unlikely to see Sam Kerr play any part in those matches at the moment as she makes her way back to full fitness. Here's Kang Che-rim. Given away again. No, in fact, she's done well to find Mern. And Mern has done well to find the ball. Hurdling challengers, looking to get it wide again to Kang.
Good stanza end to end there, some good combinations up front. We saw Mary Fowler, a bit of that tidy footwork, that skill set she possesses. She's so dangerous in those tight areas in that final third. But then Korea straight down the other end, really stretching the Matildas. Courtney Nevin got her positioning just right.
Wheeler, back with Kennedy. Grant up the line for Tamiki Yallop. Emily Van Egmond was looking for the ball, couldn't find it. Charlie Grant was just about to set off again. Decided that was a bridge too far. Shin with Lee Germin. Kim Min-jong with Shin Na-yong again for Cho Hyo-ju. Into the middle with the captain Lee. Mern does well to find Kim Hye-ri. She looks to attack the space and create some on her outside for Kang. Well played, Korea. The cross and well defended Catley. Kim Hye-ri has it straight back again with Lee Yong-ju. Now this is when Steph Catley cleared that last ball. I think it just seemed to jar that left knee. when the ball came in, it was cleared by a left foot. It just looked as though it was there that the damage was done.
Can see on that clearance attempt there, it just hits the end of the foot, and sometimes that can just pinch that medial side of the knee if you don't get the good connection, and it just gets on the end there, and you can see it's hurting Catley. Hopefully she's still got good stability in that knee. She's been excellent for the Matildas. We've seen her play obviously at left fullback for many, many years, as we see her excelling over in the UK to be leading the line in central defence for Arsenal, one of the biggest clubs in women's football. It's very impressive. As you see, she shakes this off. She's so important to the Matildas' DNA.
We just saw there 98% successful pass rate. She actually had that in the last game in Sydney as well. 52 of 53 passes. She's already at exactly the same statistic here after 55 minutes. 52 from 53 made. And we saw when that ball came in, it just came right off the edge of the toe and probably just twisted everything up the knee, but she'll be right to continue. There we see it. Let's head down to Niamh Owens on the sidelines as Korea get us back underway. Niamh.
Claire Hunt had been warming up over here beside me, Robbie. As soon as Steph went down, she was called back over by the coaching staff. She's had a word. She's rejoined Tommy and the team and gotten her instructions just in case Steph Catley was not able to continue. But Steph has just rejoined the fray. Obviously, Claire Hunt, a really good central defender in her own right, has had a really tough run at Clubland with Spurs in the UK. So some minutes tonight, you feel, for Claire's confidence heading into the next window. Claire's confidence heading back to a tough club situation could be really important as well.
Absolutely. A lot of the Tillies often look forward to coming back to the national team for the camaraderie, the environment, good for the confidence as well. Playing for clubs in Europe is all the glory, but not only. Often it's a whole lot of grind as well. Kang looking to take on Fowler, dispossessed. And that's a good ball for Caitlin Ford. Lovely first touch as well. Ford accelerating. Great play now, releasing Yallop. Nobody else up in support for the moment. Yallop has to wait. Van Egmond is there. Yallop down to the byline. Shoots from a tight angle. And kept in just at the second time of asking by Kim Min-jong.
Well, both Caitlin and Yallop had a lot of work to do, a lot of players to beat. It was about 2v6 up here. Yallop does really well, 1v1 situation. She backs herself. Really tough angle to try and beat the keeper there, but it all starts with Caitlin Ford. Her ability to turn on a dime, it changes the game. Just didn't quite have the support that you need in attack and starting so deep.
Fowler again. Mern winning it back ahead of Wheel, and now Kim up the line. Again, Kang Che-rim on the charge. Catley is there with Tegan Micah to clear. Ego Min was backing in, but Fowler has it now. Look at the space for Yallop in the middle of the park. Looks for the overlapping run of Charlie Grant. She does well to keep it in against Chu. Back she comes. Lana Kennedy with Wheeler again, who's playing a little deeper in this second half. Looks like she might have just switched positions with Cooney Cross, an attempt to get Kyra a little further forward, where she excelled, particularly in the second half in Sydney. She also provided more crosses than any other Matilda in that first game, Cooney Cross, but she's dispossessed again there by Lee. They've done their homework, Korea Republic. Lee Yong-ju has been very tight on Cooney Cross whenever she's received back to goal. She might just have received a little knock though, the Korean captain, I think. She's gone down holding her ankle. There's another player who's gone down as well now. I think it's Kang Cherim who's holding her left hamstring. And that looks like that could be a little problematic there. Changes are coming now for the Matildas. Alana Kennedy, the bruised and battered Alana Kennedy with the shiner on the right eye. Makes way for Claire Hunt. So as Niamh was just telling us, the opportunity for Hunt to get some good competitive minutes. And Caitlin Torpey is also coming on. She's replacing Tamiki Yallop, who's gone off on the far side. That's a change we saw in Sydney as well, with Torpey coming on that right side of midfield. She didn't get into the game as quickly as perhaps she would have liked in Sydney. She's going to have a few more minutes to try that this evening.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for Torpey to come on. And of course, Claire Hunt, she needs some valuable minutes. We want her back in the form that we saw her at the World Cup. She was integral to play alongside Steph Catley here as well to build that confidence.
Well, the stretcher was a little slow in coming out, so the Korean medical staff just picked up Kang Cherim and packed her on the back and piggybacked her off the field. Now, Jong Da Bin comes on for her 4th ever international cap. A couple of other changes as well, and now that change is coming as she replaces Mun. And the other change with number 16, Jong Min-yong from Seoul City, comes on to make her international debut. The number 16 at 24 years of age, so a special night for her in this Korea Republic squad. All the way back from Catley to Micah. And now Fowler. Good feet, great cross, brilliant. Cleared, but only as far as Ford off the crossbar. Ford again blocked somehow. And now Torpey, and it's in. Well, it was a bit of pinball in the penalty box, but in the end, Caitlin Torpey, with the help of the defender, driving the ball home. It's taken 17 minutes of the second half, but the Matildas have doubled their advantage.
All started with some great tenacity from Mary Fowler on this left-hand side, a beautiful floating cross. And Caitlin Ford, she had 3 cracks at it, 3 cracks at goal to only get an assist, but you'll take it every day of the week. A few battered Korean defenders there, but Caitlin Torpey, what a moment for her. First touch of the game, straight into the net.
Now we've got 2 Korean players down with injury at the moment. I'm not sure if that was goal bound off the boot of Caitlin Torpey. I don't want to be the Grinch that stole Christmas, but it could be another own goal. We had one in Sydney. It was Lim Son-ju that scored that one, and I think she may have made it goals in back-to-back games. Let's have a look. Is this going in, or is it helped in?
It's a nice finish at the back post, actually, Robbie, but yes, unfortunately that won't stand for Caitlin Torpey, but still straight into the action. But Caitlin Ford couldn't buy a goal here. Bodies being thrown everywhere, but great combination from Mary Fowler, Caitlin Ford, 2 of the biggest names in football.
I think there is A big problem here for Lim. They've asked for the stretcher. Well, that is bad. I think she was already limping back when she was trying to get back into position as well. And a little bit of housekeeping for Korea Republic. I don't think it's the number 16 who came on. I think it was the number 15, Lee Eun-yong, who we also saw in the first game in Sydney as well. Another player about to come on for Korea Republic with the number 4, Ko Yoo-jin, about to come into the game. That probably will be for Lim Son-ju, who unfortunately is on the stretcher and looks like she will play no further part.
Well, you certainly can't fault the commitment from the Koreans. They were throwing their bodies at that. A very difficult cross initially from Mary Fowler to defend. Looking a little worse for wear now. Of course, wishing her all the best.
So it is Lim Son-ju who makes way, and this time, well, now we do have an international debut. And this one will not be taken away. Ko Yoo-jin, another of this side that play for Incheon Hyundai Red Angels, the team, the Korean club side, which will be taking on Melbourne City in the semi-finals of the Asian Champions League. And there's a first touch in international football for her. Kim Min-jong inviting the press from Van Egmond. Wheeler does well, and Kyra Cooney-Cross has it back for Australia. Fowler. Nevin does well. With Fowler again. Good feet. Van Egmond back outside for Courtney Nevin. Well defended by Lee Eun-yong. This is again the Korea number 15 who came off the bench late in Sydney.
Matilda's growing in confidence. You can feel the momentum building, and this is the presence of the likes of Caitlin Ford brings. She just has that X factor that they've been desperately needing in that final third, and she just brings so much energy, and you can feel it's starting to build.
The wave is starting to head around. That second goal has just released a little bit of the tension around McDonald Jones Stadium as well. The fans getting into it now. Even those that are sitting on the hill, it's never easy to get up off your feet for the wave. Now, what do Korea have left in the tank? That's the big question. Ford, great hassle again, and hustle from Caitlin Ford. Cooney-Cross, Caitlin Ford goes again, brilliant run, oh, and just wide. Well, the Matildas are on top now. Korea Republic have to be careful. This could all of a sudden very quickly blow out.
Well, she hasn't been on long, but gee, she's been effective. She's got such brilliant balance and strength. She'll be disappointed not to hit the target on that occasion. She hit the post 2-3 times mere moments ago. She's an electric player.
Long from Ko. Tommy Simani looking to make another substitution. It's going to be another hometown player as well, but Cooney-Cross has lost out there to the number 26, Jong Da-bin. Korea Republic with the shooting opportunity. Choi Da-chong, seeing her effort turn behind off Charlie Grant for a corner. Kim Shin-ji. Near post, it's under hit, cleared by Claire Wheeler. The crowd making plenty of fun. In the crowd, they're starting to enjoy themselves now. Another change coming for the Matildas, and another Novocastrian. Tash Pryor coming on to replace Courtney Nevin, a 7th international cap for Tash Pryor, who already has a couple of goals to her name.
It's not often you get to represent your country in your hometown, so a big moment for Tash Pryor, and well earned. She's had a long list of pretty full-on injuries as well, so a big moment for her and a great opportunity for her to work on this partnership with Claire Hunt and hopefully keep a clean sheet for the Matildas.
She has to scurry immediately. Tegan Micah didn't come. A moment's confusion. Nothing like a quick sprint off the bench to get you up to pace in the game. Well done. Another corner to come now. We heard from Tash Pryor in the pre-game when she was chatting with Grace Gill about those concussions that almost put paid to her career. Ball comes near post. It'll be another corner. A third in relatively quick succession for Korea Republic, off the head of Charlie Grant. Again, it's Kim Shin-ji. Again, it's too close to Tegan Micah. Releasing Catley. You can see those left back reflexes. That's a good ball for Fowler. Oh, but Van Egmond just came inside. That's the old playmaker reflex as well. Didn't want to go charging up the wing.
Yeah, Van Egmond needed to continue her run out wide here. She was the decoy, which would open up that space for Mary Fowler, and we need Mary on the ball as much as possible. We know how influential she is. She's so clever. She's so clever with that deception, but she needs the runners.
Shin, her pass intercepted by Claire Wheeler. She's on the charge now. The Matildas coming forward again. The cross for Ford, just behind her. Cooney Cross with the follow-up, blocked somehow by Kim Hye-ri. And then Claire Hunt wrestling Jong Dae-bin off the ball. Free kick awarded.
Really nice wide run from Claire Wheeler there. She's managed to find herself in space. I've been wanting to see the Matildas use a bit more width. They've had a couple of crosses in the last few minutes and they've looked dangerous. Korea have dealt with them only just. A great connection from Kyra Cooney Cross. She did all she could.
Cooney Cross again with Fowler and Wheeler all the way back with Tash Pryor. I mentioned the Matildas are back in action in the end of May, early June. The Socceroos as well. They'll be in Perth in June in a very big match on their way for World Cup qualification. If you're out west, get your tickets for that one. Just search Socceroos and you'll find a link. Fowler's ball to the back post. Torpy's header. Van Egmond is there, trying to keep it alive. Korea Republic through Kim Shin-ji. Try and bring it away. Australia has it back again. Cooney Cross straight back to Tash Pryor. Now Claire Hunt. Good reverse pass. Van Egmond, nice feet, but that one's under hit. Cooney Cross does well to get the better of Lee. Now Catley, who's moved back out to that left-back position now with the introduction of two other centre-backs. Van Egmond's touch is heavy. Ball gets away. Min, big switch of play for Lee. She looks up and crosses. Oh, Hunt and Grant have to be careful. Korea Republic on the front foot and not far away there. Jong Da Bin just couldn't get the final touch in the box. Caitlin Ford wants the free kick and she gets it. A little bit of afters with Kim Hye-ri. Now Lee Young getting involved as well.
It's clever hold-up play from Caitlin Ford. She's smart. She knew what she was doing. She needed to be an outlet. It's exactly what you want from your number 9, just holding on, drawing the foul. Probably didn't need the afters afterwards. She's a protected species, Caitlin Ford, in this country. And the crowd wouldn't have any of that.
And the crowd just seeing it all again on the big screen. Caitlin just trying to extricate herself from the situation. No such thing as a friendly.
Game really starting to open up now, and this will be a great test for this young back line.
The official crowd for tonight's match in Newcastle is
14 minutes to go. Ford. She is determined. Fowler now shoots. Save. Let's head straight down to Neve Owens with a little crowd update for us.
Yeah, record crowd just announced here for a Matildas game at McDonald Jones Stadium. 28,019 fans here in Newey tonight, and I love, Robbie, how you can see that has built over the last 8 years. Back in 2017, a clash with Brazil, there were 16,800 here to see the Matildas play. It grew in 2021 for a clash with the USA. There was 20,000 here that time, and a record crowd here tonight of over 28,000, which is really exciting for football fans in the Hunter Valley. Less exciting for Ninja A-League fans. There's a lot of ice just on the bench to the right of me, Robbie. Meeks has an ice pack on each knee, and Holly Mack has an ice pack on her right knee. See, Ninja A-League fans will know that the action is back this weekend. Melbourne City, Holly Mack's team playing on Friday night, and they'll be hoping she can line up.
Here's Torpy into the area. Another hefty collision. It's a bit like Demolition Derby at times out there at the moment. Ball back in for Ford. The goalkeeper palms it out. Catley going for the roof of the net from a tight angle and couldn't find it. Spectacular stuff.
Well, you got a feeling this game's got more goals in it. A lovely floating ball in behind. Look at the run from Caitlin Ford. A bit of a swing and a miss, but beautifully timed run. Almost went in without a touch. This game's really opening up some great opportunities, both in attack and for the Matildas to try and maintain their 2-game clean sheet.
Well, she can see the funny side, or is that a wry smile from Caitlin Ford? Received great news that the nose is not broken. Massive month coming up for Arsenal in the WSL, where they're chasing Chelsea, who have skipped away, but also in the Champions League. If they knock out Olympique Lyonnais, will that mean Joe Montemuro is on his way to the Matildas a week earlier? We'll have to wait and see.
We will. And we do want an Aussie to win the Champions League, but we also would love a coach.
Ball in. Ford near post. I think that's come off a defender. Referee says goal kick. Caitlin Ford says, I didn't touch it.
How brilliant has Caitlin Ford's impact been straight off the bench? She's straight into the action. You can tell why she's one of the best in the world.
And playing in this central role, which she's sort of been thrust into in the absence of Sam Kerr. And showing that she's pretty proficient at it as well, despite the fact she has always traditionally played as a wide forward who has an eye for goal. Caitlin Torpey, she's been playing right back in America with her side, the San Diego Wave.
I think Caitlin Torpey's got a huge future with the Matildas. We know how versatile she is. You just touched on the fact she's probably more familiar playing in that right back position, and back in the days when we played 4-4-2, she is built to be a right winger, so she's almost caught between this hybrid. Am I an attacking fullback? So it's so great to have a versatile player like Torpey, and she's just growing in confidence.
Got her first goal against Uzbekistan in the Olympic Games qualifiers. 10 minutes to go. There have been plenty of chances in the last few minutes. The Matildas have had 12 shots in the second half against just 3 in the first. And there's been a much improved performance after the break. And they have it straight back. Wheeler with Catley. It was her free kick. Cooney Cross now. Happy to go all the way back to Tegan Micah. Still got 2 changes left. Tommy Samani up his sleeve. Van Egmond. Nicely done. Forward. Charlie Grant still full of running. Torpey, numbers coming forward now. Van Egmond's cross. Charlie Grant wanted it played in short, couldn't find her. Another change coming, one for either side. The Korea Republic, Kim Myung-jin is coming on, but before that, for the Matildas, Emily Van Egmond is making way, and Leah Davidson, the Melbourne City midfielder, who made her debut against Chinese Taipei just a few weeks ago. Cap number 232 enters the game. That change, the 22-year-old Kim Myung-jin coming on. She's only just moved to Incheon Hyundai Red Angels, and she got her first goal in the Champions League quarter-final. Was the winner against Bam Khartoum, the Iranian side that sees the Red Angels taking on Leah Davidson and Melbourne City. That's a great touch from Davidson for Ford. It might yet fall. Catley looking to get there. She's done well, Catley. Red shirts everywhere. Torpey was involved. Well, it's been a really good second half from the Matildas.
It's been a great second half, an entertaining second half, and you can see what Caitlin Ford brings. She combines Caitlin Torpey flying into the box, Steph Catley just the 4 to beat to try and get this shot off, but really impressed with that first touch from Leah Davidson. One touch straight into the action, and that's the X factor you need in the final third.
There are those second half shots. 12-5. It's been the Matildas' half. Cooney Cross, ball in, claimed by Min, a good grab from the Korea Republic keeper. Looks like she will be first choice. Kim Min-jong, the 28-year-old. You guessed it, Incheon Red Angels again. Fowler. Great turn So much so that I don't think Caitlin Ford was quite ready for it. She gives a thumbs up. Leah Davidson just waiting to follow Caitlin Ford in the press. Now they decide to just step back. Well, it would be great to get another goal, but it was also is just as important not to concede. Lee putting Pryor under pressure.
Yeah, this will build a lot of confidence for the Matildas and for Tom Samani. He's done a great job navigating this interim period. This is giving us a great look about how we compete against competitive Asian teams. Got 8 months out from a major tournament. A lot of young players getting an opportunity to show they are up to it.
What we've seen in the last probably 20-25 minutes or so is that ability to just really take the game to their opponents, really go for it, take risks, cause panic in the opposition ranks.
If anything, I'd love us to show a bit more of that confidence and that risk-taking in the opening half, particularly in friendlies. I feel like we're a little hesitant. Obviously, new players combining with each other, but we're a little bit slow to start.
Lee Go-min standing over this free kick with Kim Hye-ri. It is the right back who sends it in near post. And Korea Republic do have a goal. And it won't count. Saved by the offside flag. And poor old Ko Yoo-jin on debut thought she had her first ever international goal, but it won't count.
Well, it was a really clever free kick. That is really borderline. Matilda's lucky to get away with one there. Very difficult to defend, but incredibly clever. This game is heating up.
I don't think she was offside when the initial free kick came in, so if it did take a touch off that boot at the near post, then it was very close. All the way back. Tegan Micah, she would have been the most disappointed had that goal stood. Davidson's touch that time. Just gets away from her. Here's Kim Hye-ri again. Ford. Once again surrounded. Again, Ford having a couple of issues with the number 17, Lee Yong-ju, the 32-year-old. 70 caps for her country this evening. Like many of the more experienced players in this Korea side, been to a couple of World Cups, played every match and every minute of that Asian Cup in 2022 when they made the final for the first time in their history. All countries around the world are improving. Korea Republic are a great example of that. And Australia have shown that they can also go with the times, keep improving. Ford, what a talent she is. Look at the run from Torpy. Strong challenge by Ko. And now Chu charging up that left flank. Torpy getting back to help Charlie Grant out in cover. Lee Go-min. Cross, too close to Tegan Micah. And again, we saw the phenomenon in Sydney, but as we get down to these final minutes, you can see the kids start to come down towards the front rows, looking to get in front position for when the final whistle goes and the Matildas start their lap of honour, hoping to get a little autograph, perhaps a jersey for the lucky few. Matildas aren't focusing on that just yet. Here's Lee. Taking on Catley, deflected. Played by Micah, no corner, kept in. Good goalkeeping, good defending.
Tegan Micah's had another great series here. She'll be growing in confidence, coaching this young backline as well, but when she's needed to stand up, she has not challenged too many times in this game, but particularly last game. Really did owe it to Tegan Micah for that win. It was an absolute clutch save, excellent performance, and she'll be heading back to the UK after this, but with Liverpool, where it's competitive to get match minutes.
Yeah, she hasn't featured in the last 4 for Liverpool. Hopefully that will change again. Liverpool currently sitting 6th in the WSL. They're not one of the top 4. The Chelsea's, Man City's, United's, Arsenal's. With the big women's clubs in England. 4 minutes of stoppage time has begun. 4 minutes for the Matildas to try and add goal number 3. Fowler. Straight into the referee, Caitlin Torpey and Leah Davidson were looking to take off down the right-hand side. Still time. Wheeler. We'll get through the full 90 minutes. Catley. Cooney Cross as well. It's been a big international window for her.
Yeah, there was a lot of raised eyebrows when we saw the number of big-name stars out for the Matildas, but as you can see, this has been a really worthwhile series. We've got to see a lot of new youngsters put in positions, given a really good opportunity to perform, and there's only a handful of opportunities to see the Matildas at home before the Asian Cup, so this is exactly what these friendly series is for.
Claire Hunt with Pryor. Wheeler again. Forward wanted it short. It's a wasted ball over the top. She apologises, Claire Wheeler, who's been industrious in the middle of the park today. Spent 7 years at the Jets before a season in Sydney, then headed across to Europe. Lee, under pressure from Davidson. Had another good game, the career captain. Also showed plenty of aggression and competitiveness as well. Had a couple of run-ins with Caitlin Ford. Long ball forward, Claire Hunt, that's good. Front foot defending from her. Here is Lee. Kim for Lee Eun-yong. Good ball into the feet of Jong. Free kick, says the referee. Claire Hunt coming through the back. Still at university, the number 26 for Korea Republic, the 19-year-old Jong Da-bin. Kim Hye-ri with the free kick. We're into the last seconds of this contest. Korea Republic thought they'd got a goal back from a set piece from this kind of range, this kind of angle. This one's floated more to the back post. I think it was a red shirt that got their head on it, Shin Na-yong. Long from Micah, the last kick of the game. The Matildas victorious in this 2-game friendly series against Korea Republic. 8 wins out of 8 on home soil against the Taeguk ladies.